Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Launch Minus 3-day countdown status briefing for STS-120 and Space Shuttle Discovery. Here to bring us the status this morning is Charlie Blackwell-Thompson, NASA Test Director.
Good morning.
Glenn Chen, the STS-120 Payload Manager.
Good morning.
And Kathy Winters, the Shuttle Weather Officer.
Good morning.
And we'll begin first with Discovery status and status of the pad with Charlie Blackwell-Thompson. Charlie?
Good morning. I'm excited to be here today to provide you launch countdown status for the upcoming launch of Space Shuttle Discovery to the International Space Station. This is the 120th flight of the Space Shuttle and the 34th flight for Discovery. Preparations are in work for Tuesday's launch to bring the flight crew and the Node 2, or the Harmony module, to the orbiting space station. Our flight crew arrived yesterday. They're excited to be at the launch site, and they've been busy already since they've been here. They had some STA flights this morning, and they're looking forward to their upcoming mission. We're tracking no issues in our preparations at this point. The orbiter's mid-body and compartments are closed out for flight, and our preparations for launch countdown are nearly complete. Some of our significant milestones and events that are coming up. Launch countdown, call the stations, is planned for 1:30 this afternoon, and our countdown clock will begin counting at 2:00 p.m. Shortly after call to stations, we'll configure our avionics systems, and we'll do the checkout, and we'll also begin our preparations for the loading of our onboard reactants for our power generation system. The load of those commodities, both the liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen, will pick up tomorrow at 10 a.m. Checkout of our orbiter ground communication network is also planned for shortly after 9:30 on Monday morning. We'll retract the RSS, our rotating service structure, at 3:00 in the afternoon on Monday, and we'll begin our ET loading no earlier than 2:13 on Tuesday morning. Our launch window is approximately 10 minutes in length, and it will open just after 11:33 on Tuesday morning. During the 9-minute hold, we'll sync up our actual T0 time, as always, based on our day of launch parameters. Generally, we target the middle of the window, which will be around 11:38. Starting with our first attempt, and every other day thereafter, we do have some Flight Day 4 rendezvous capability in addition to our Flight Day 3, and that will provide us with about 3 minutes and 15 seconds worth of additional window. We have a 14-day mission with 2 weather contingency days. It's a busy mission. We have 5 EVAs planned, all from the ISS airlock. And once our work on orbit is done, we'll bring Discovery home. Our end of mission landing is planned for 4:47 on Tuesday, November 6th, here at KSC. In the event of a scrub turnaround, our window does open approximately 23 to 25 minutes earlier each day, and it extends through December 11th. During that time, we have one constraint on the range, and that is a Delta 4, currently planned no earlier than November 3rd. We will have enough onboard commodities in our power generation system to get 4 launch attempts in 5 days, and we'll use our standard 24 and 48-hour scrub options to accomplish that. In summary, all of our systems are in good shape. Our countdown is on schedule. I have no issues to report, and our team is ready, Discovery is ready, and we're looking forward to Tuesday's launch and to a safe and successful mission. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie. And now to the KSC STS-120 Payload Manager, Glenn Chen. Glenn?
Good morning. Today I'm happy to say that we are ready for our launch package to be launched into STS-120, and we are currently sitting on go. We're continuing the launch count with the orbiter, and today we have a short clip to show our prime star main payload that's going on orbit, which is the Node 2 Harmony. And if we could start the clip, please. Here it shows the super transporter, the Airbus, bringing in Harmony to the SLF at KSC. This was way back in June 1st of 2003, and it was being unloaded to transport back to the SSPF, where it would be processed for the next 4 years. Here you see the technicians unloading Harmony module into the SSPF stands, where it would be processed. Harmony, as you know, is going to be the docking station for the Japanese module Kibo and the Columbus module, that's the ESA contribution to space station. And it's roughly 24 feet long and weighs approximately 31,400 pounds. And then here's the module going back into the canister back in mid-September on its trip to the pad to be integrated with the orbiter. This is the view of the canister in its vertical orientation coming out of the canister rotation facility. And this was in the night hours of September 27th when we brought the payload to the pad. Here's a view of the backdrop with VAB in the background. And here's the canister at the pad where it's being hoisted to the PCR level and prepped for insertion into the orbiter that arrived a couple of days after we got to the pad. There's a shot with a canister going up into PCR level. That's a pre-dawn shot. This is back in the OPF high bay where we loaded the spare main bus switching unit, which is a spare component for station that we're carrying up. And the main bus switching unit is attached to the starboard sidewall of the cargo bay of Discovery. Here you see the technicians attaching it. And this last shot is in the OPF also with the TSA, which is basically a toolbox that was inserted in the orbiter starboard side to accommodate the TRAD, which is the tile repair ablative demonstrator that was a late add to this mission. And that's the view of the back aft bulkhead of the orbiter. And here's a shot of what the orbiter looks like today. And Harmony integrated into the orbiter vertically. And that's basically the prime star of our mission for STS-120 and the 10A launch package. And in summary, we are ready to go. We are continuing the countdown, and we are working no issues, and we have no concerns at this time.
Thank you, Glenn. And now I look at the weather forecast for Tuesday. The Shuttle Launch Weather Officer, Kathy Winters.
Good morning. Well, we are concerned about some showers in the area on the day of launch, and also due to the fact the sea breeze will be developing right around the launch time, we're concerned that we could also get some cumulus cloud development within 10 nautical miles of the launch pad, and also a ceiling could develop in the area as well. So we have several concerns for launch day. Up to launch right now, we have a frontal boundary moving through the area, and if you look at the satellite picture, you can see that boundary coming in from North Florida. It's moving into the Central Florida area today. It'll push slightly to the south, and that should bring us some showers and storms today. And then tomorrow, what's going to happen is it's going to gradually, by the evening, start waving back up to the north again. So on Sunday evening and Monday, we should get some more shower activity, possibly some more thunderstorm activity. But by launch day, it is going to be pushed to the north, but still will be in a warm, moist environment. And so with the southeast flow and the warm, moist environment, we are concerned about coastal showers, little convergent bands coming in off of the Bahama Islands, and also a chance for some cumulus cloud development along with the sea breeze as well. So let's go ahead and look at our forecast for the tanking forecast. Well, we are expecting scattered skies in general. Sometimes we do get some thunderstorms off the Gulf Stream that last into the morning, early morning hours, and so because of that we do have a 10% chance of violating our tanking constraints, and that's mainly due to the concern for lightning within 5 nautical miles. For our launch forecast, we're just concerned about showers in the area. That scattered deck at 3,000 feet, we're a little bit concerned that could also go broken around that time, which means basically we have more than 50% coverage in the area, so we'll be watching that as well. With that, we have a 40% chance of KSC weather prohibiting launch. The solid rocket booster recovery forecast looks good overall. There will be some showers in the area, but overall seas are good, just 3 to 4 feet. And for the Kona sites, weather's looking good at both sites. No crosswind concerns at all. So winds are a little bit windy, a little bit high at Northrop there, but it's right up the runway, so not a concern. And for the TAL sites, we do have some concerns there with a wind concern mainly at Zaragoza and also at Istris. If we do happen to delay 24 hours, we're pretty much looking at a similar weather scenario. We do have a cutoff low in the central portion of the U.S. that may start making some movement, so we'll be watching the timing of that boundary, but right now it looks like similar weather conditions on day 2, and therefore, again, a concern for showers and cumulus clouds and a ceiling, and a 40% chance of KSC weather prohibiting launch. And for the CONUS sites, the weather's looking good at both locations, and for the overseas sites, mainly in the overseas sites, again, concerns for chance for showers within 20 nautical miles at Zaragoza and also at Istris. And finally, if we happen to delay 48 hours, there's some uncertainty in the timing of that boundary. The models have been sort of all over the place on that, so we are concerned as they're going to start, that boundary is going to start getting closer to the area. So with that, we're concerned about anvils coming in from the west and also showers in the area again. So we, again, have a 40% chance of KSC weather prohibiting launch. And for the CONUS sites, again, looking good, both Edwards and Northrop. And for the TAL sites, concerned at all 3 locations with chances for showers and/or thunderstorms within 20 nautical miles. So we're mainly going to be watching for that cumulus cloud development, and with that we have a 40% chance of KSC weather prohibiting launch all 3 days.
Right, thank you, Kathy. And we're ready now to take questions. Please give your name and your affiliation when the microphone comes to you. We'll start right here in the front, second row.
Thank you. Tarek Malik with Space.com and Space News, and I think my question is for Charlie. I was just curious, given the forecast Kathy just gave us, what buffer or flexibility you have in terms of the pre-launch activities that the pad crews will have to do?
Well, as you know, we're always monitoring the weather, and we have certain activities where the weather is more critical than others, and in the near term we have our PRSD load that'll be coming up on Sunday morning. We'll be monitoring the weather for that. Lightning is our primary concern, and it does hold that activity, but we have a 4-hour built-in hold just after that, and so we do have some capability to make up any time that may be lost due to the weather.
Okay, next row back, Mark.
Mark Carreau from the Houston Chronicle. I think my question is kind of related to Tarek's. How long does it take to recharge the PRSD system? And I'm wondering if there's any reservicing that Harmony requires, or if it's in a stable posture throughout however long a countdown you need.
Well, I can address the PRSD. As I said earlier, we're planning our 4 attempts in 5 days. Our pad hold time right now, we're looking at 6 days for liquid hydrogen and 14 days for liquid oxygen. So.
And for Payload Harmony, we do not have any near-term threats or issues to deal with should we have a stand-down. We're good for the long term.
All right, Bill.
Bill Harvey, CBS for Charlie. Just to make sure I understand PRSD, can you just tell me what how you would recycle? So I guess you got 4 attempts in 5 days as you stand now, and then what happens? It's down for 48 and you redo both, or you just do hydrogen? So what's the strategy?
We alternate commodities, and our first PRSD top-off would be for hydrogen. We would do that in a 48-hour scrub, although not required in our initial 48-hour scrub.
Okay, thanks. And for Kathy, and I apologize for asking a weather question because it looks to me like it's the Bob 6 50-50 this far out. But is there any long-range trend this time of year? I mean, once you get past these next week, do you have any sense of what's going to happen after that?
Well, there's that front that will be threatening the area right around the 48-hour point sometime in there. So if it doesn't affect us on that day, it may be an issue for us in the following days. Climatologically, usually if they push through, then we start getting into crosswind concerns. But right now, it mainly looks like the front's going to be affecting us somewhere around that Thursday time period or just after that. And then we'd have to start just watching all that moisture coming up at the front. And fronts tend to stall this time of year instead of just pushing right through real cleanly. So that can leave a lot of ceilings and moisture in the area. So right now it doesn't look great, but having many days without an attempt is not usually typical. Usually we get a good day in there somewhere.
Have we any other questions? All right, we have no questions at the other centers. Our next countdown status briefing is on Sunday morning at 10 a.m., and that will be followed by the pre-launch press conference at 1 p.m. on Sunday. Thank you.